Hey, back on the grind. It is Tuesday morning at 9:38. I want to say this. Yeah, I'm just kind of waking up. I had some cereal, um, but I want to say this: the way that homosexuals generally have eluded this thing to being a civil rights issue is that they had to separate themselves into a specific group of people as if they're a minority, and that's a lie. Homosexuals are not a minority. Okay, homosexuals are just heterosexuals doing homosexual things when it's convenient. Because then they turn around and as soon as they need some sperm is not a homosexual activity. If you're female and you have a desire for sperm, an innate desire to sperm, an innate desire for a reproduction, when there is no reproduction in homosexuality, there is no reproduction. You have a female and a female. But then all of a sudden you're heterosexual when it's convenient. Heterosexual, there's no homosexual organs. So the point of it is that if they could deceive everybody into believing that they are a minority, then it becomes a civil right. And they are not a minority. You know, and again, and this is the thing. So if they're born, if they can convince people they're born that way, and there is absolutely no scientific truth, there's just science liars because they have not found any kind of gene. And if you do find a gene, then that gene says you're not attracted to the opposite sex. No way would you have opposite sex if you were completely homosexual or so-called gay. That's which is another name they made up. Homosexuality is an activity. It is not a person. You know, you are not a homosexual. You're a heterosexual. Your internal body organs is heterosexual, and you become, and your desire is to have children is a sexual desire. If you're a female and you want to get pregnant and you call yourself homosexual, it is a heterosexual desire. You are not operating in homosexuality because homosexuality does not create life. It is not infertile because it has no fertility. So the fact that they have been able to confuse and deceive and have other people believe that they are are a separate group but yet want to do all the heterosexual things. Heterosexuals raise children. Your innate desire to raise the children is a heterosexual desire. It has nothing to do with being homosexual. Because there is nothing, no such thing as a homosexual. It's just heterosexuals doing homosexual things. Homosexual activity. Homosexuality is an activity. Gay is a sexual activity. Gay is not. There's no such thing as a gay. There is no gay activity. There's no gay activity because you have sex. Because you have sex with somebody doesn't separate you into another group of people. There is not a third. There's not a third or third sexual group. You're still heterosexual. You're still a man and you're still a woman. Marriage is between a man and a woman, heterosexuals. Heterosexuals, I don't care if you're fertile, or if you're a heterosexual that is fertile or not, you're a man and a woman. When the heck did a huge life determining thing as whether as whether you're a man and a woman become insignificant. How do you fool and deceive and trick a whole group of people into saying, that's not a man, that's a homosexual? That's not it's a man. You know, that's a huge, the first thing when a baby is born, the first thing you, girl or female, you don't look to see if it's homosexual. This is what I have a problem with, the stupidity of it. So they have been able to convince people that they're a separate group. And then if you are a gene, if there's a gene, then by that gene, evolution says you should not be procreating. You would not be attracted to the opposite sex. So how do you procreate? So it's convenient homosexuality. It's convenient heterosexuality. And then not to mention that, then what are bisexuals? Are they a separate group too? You know, the lie is so confused and inconsistent. It's just amazing. You know? So what they have done is fooled and tried and lied again. And if you had a gene, then you should, then no way. It's in humanity resources, because you should, it's not, you're not furthering humanity. And to take heterosexual children's, you know, is a heterosexual children is a hetero, and wanting to raise and adopt them. Those are maternal and fatherly things that are of heterosexuality. Homosexuality does in and of itself does not create life. And if you are two females and you desire a man's sperm so that you can be pregnant, I don't know how much more heterosexual you could be. So, you know, this is just a lie, and that's the problem I have. That's not what you do in your bed. I have talked to a guy, you know, me and a friend of mine was joking. A guy I know, and I know he is bisexual. I've been trying to help this guy to get projects, and it's really, and I'd like to ask you homosexual, you heterosexual, you, I don't know what to call you, you know, and again, they shouldn't even be called anything, you know. So people who are into homosexuality, I like to ask in the appropriate way. A friend of mine, I've known him for a few years now, and I've known he's a bisexual or whatever, or I've never seen him around a woman, and because I know another guy who is cousin to an old girlfriend of mine, and these two kind of hang together, and they might probably are bisexual. But yesterday we're sitting there, I'm talking to him, and he comes up, and we're sitting there, I'm preaching to him on some things, and then he grabs me both arms from across the table and do one of those moves, you know, and I don't like when men touch me with a sexual energy, you know, and that's what I know he was trying to do. And so I try not to offend, you know, other homosexuals that know you're straight, yet they try to push their agenda. They try on the side. It also happened to a friend of mine who was a female, people that they know for years who all of a sudden got into homosexuality. You know, I guess they get lonely or they want sex, and they don't care who they get it from. So what is the appropriate way to say, man, keep your goddamn hands off of me? You know, excuse me. you know what I mean? That's how you want to say, because it's offensive. You know, because this person can't tell I'm not a female. So the thing about it, and for some reason that seems to be a huge misnomer with people. They can't tell the difference between a vagina and a penis, you know. But you know, what's the appropriate way to kind of put them in place and to let them know that, look, you're not into homosexuality, and you're definitely not a down low person. You don't do stuff on the underhanded slick and slide, you know. I mean, you know, as far as anything, you know, with that kind of thing is concerned, you know, you're not into this into that kind of living, you know. So, or not into that style of sex, or not into that sex style, you know. And you definitely would not try to make a life out of it, you know, and especially considering there is no difference between a homosexual life and a heterosexual life, and they're trying to make it completely a heterosexual life with children. Raising a family is a heterosexual activity. You can only raise a family. You can only get pregnant through heterosexuality. Insemination, whatever they call it, insemination. When you need a sperm, that's like polygamy to me. You know, when you go outside the family, that's a form of polygamy. You know, that's what Sarah did in the Bible. You know, and you need to be careful about it because you don't know whose sperm you're getting. You know, so, you know, anyway, when you start tampering with things biologically, you don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, trying to find this movie. I hit all my movie windows, and now I can't find